Hi, I'm Mark David Fromm, principal of Mark David and Company Real Estate. I'm here today with John Pasquarello, a preferred mortgage banker, to talk about mortgage pre-qualification.
Hi Mark, it's great to be here.
Hi John, how are you? So John, I'd like to start by asking if you could explain for our clients about what pre-qualification is.
Sure, Mark. Mortgage pre-qualification, which is also known as pre-approval, is an analysis done by a loan officer to determine whether a buyer will qualify for the financing on a future purchase. The analysis looks at the buyer's profile, in particular their credit, income, and assets, and determines whether those characteristics will be sufficient to support a specific purchase price and loan amount.
Okay, great. When is the best time in the home buying process to get pre-qualified?
I recommend getting pre-approved right at the beginning. There's nothing more disappointing for a buyer than finding the perfect property only to find out that they can't get enough of a mortgage to buy it. The pre-qualification process will prevent this from happening by identifying problems up front. It also gives you a lot of very useful information that you should really have at the very beginning. For instance, how much will the monthly payments be on different mortgage amounts? How much will your closing costs be? What documentation will the lender want to see from you? So by the end of the pre-qualification, you'll know exactly how much you can afford, exactly how much cash you will need in order to close that transaction, and also what to expect in the loan process.
Okay, great. So a lot of buyers feel confident about their credit, income, and assets and may not want to do a pre-qualification prior to looking at properties. What are the risks of not getting pre-approved up front?
Well, Mark, lending guidelines have changed dramatically in the past couple of years. So previous assumptions buyers have about mortgages might be very outdated. I'll give you a couple of examples. A buyer might have a very good credit score, which is always a good thing, but they might not realize that today having a good credit score is not enough by itself. You actually have to have a certain amount of established credit history in order to qualify. Another problem I see buyers getting surprised by is the difference between how much they earn and how much credit the lender will give them for those earnings. This applies specifically to people who have significant income from bonuses, commissions, self-employment, or part-time work.
How much does the pre-qualification cost and how long does it take?
It's completely free. It only takes about 30 minutes at the most. It can be done over the phone or by email. They can just fill out an application and email it back to you.
Great. And does pre-qualification guarantee that a buyer will get the loan they requested?
That's a very good question, Mark. A complete pre-qualification is the best type to have. The more information you can provide to the loan officer, the more likely it is that you'll get the loan when the time actually comes. So if the loan officer requests additional documentation to clarify something, I recommend giving them that additional information. Keep in mind that this information is always kept confidential, so it's strictly between you and your lender.
Okay, great. So I'm Mark David Fromm, and I've been discussing mortgage pre-qualification with John Pasquarello. John, thank you for answering my questions.
You're welcome, Mark.